They tell us that the Birkin is the ultimate symbol of luxury, and that it is so exclusive that you have to earn it by spending thousands of dollars to become a customer. Then, perhaps, you will be given the opportunity to purchase one that is handcrafted by master artisans and illuminated by candles in Paris, Italy. That is the story they sold us, but at the moment, the picture-perfect world is collapsing, and the titan of luxury is in full-blown panic mode.
Keep all my purses. This one here is really special. If my house is on fire, I would take this one.
Feel my arm is real. Don't love me because of no diamonds. Take all this. This bracelet right here look real as a. This shit was $23.
Speaking to this client here regarding selling her Birkin 30 Gris Ethane, if I'm not wrong. Gris Ethane is the color, and it's palladium hardware. The bag is in box fresh condition, but it's SUES stamp, which means it's a 2020.
The luxury conglomerate recently did the unimaginable and filed a lawsuit against the same Chinese manufacturers that have been covertly disclosing their darkest, most expensive secrets for decades, rocking the fashion industry. Hermes promoted this myth of unmatched French craftsmanship. Imagine delicate hands, soft leather, and the aroma of a historic Parisian workshop where artisans spent years learning every stitch and perfecting every curve of a Kelly or a Birkin. This was the unachievable dream that justified the outrageous price tag, but shocking insider leaks and expertly revealed evidence revealed that the truth behind those fancy French-made labels was far wilder. How did they manage to sell the French dream when the real work was taking place elsewhere? The great majority of these sought-after bags aren't even born in Paris. In fact, up to 80% of these so-called French luxury pieces are actually made in China, far across the world. This wasn't just about sending over a few leather panels, it was also about cutting, intricate stitching, threading, and core leather work. It was a cunning game where the bags would be manufactured almost entirely in China and then shipped to France for the finishing touch, such as a button, clasp, or that recognizable stamp. Applying that final detail in Paris allowed them to charge $20,000, $40,000, or even $60,000 for a bag whose real origins were concealed in plain sight, and all of a sudden it qualified as made in France legally.
Is wearing a fake Louis Vuitton fanny pack and she didn't know it. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I know that this Louis Vuitton bag.
They say, hey, I want to buy one of these. You know what they say to you? No, we don't have them.
Enter Tanner Leatherstein. He's not just some random guy posting on TikTok. He's a legit leather expert with a massive following. Because he does something nobody else dares, he buys these ultra-expensive designer bags and takes a knife to them, literally slicing them open on camera to reveal what's really inside. He was one of the first to expose Chanel for using cheap plastic-coated leather and faking real gold hardware. He's gone after Louis Vuitton, Bocca Veneta, and of course Hermes, and when he cut open these Birkins and Kellys, his findings were damning. The leather quality often no better than what you'd find on a $100 knockoff. Even more jaw-dropping, he broke down the actual cost to make a Birkin, the materials, the labor. It adds up to about $600, not $14,000, not $38,000, $600, and the leaks from the factories themselves back this up, naming specific facilities in places like Guangdong province that have been specializing in high-quality handbags for decades, producing a huge percentage of the world's luxury bags with excellent materials and skilled workers.
Latest Hermes bag with me. This is my first bag I got this year. I usually get 1 bag a year, and this is the one for this year. And I'm really excited about it.
Meanwhile, the brands are laughing all the way to the...
First of all, you have to be Hermes customers. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand. And then you can only buy...
Imagine Hermes watching all of this happen. Their meticulously planned fantasy, the foundation of their billion-dollar empire, is being sliced open and revealed to the world. Videos are going viral, receipts are dropping, and the source, the very factories they relied on, are revealing their dirty secret. These Chinese manufacturers weren't just producing fakes, they were producing the real bags, and now they're blowing the whistle, confirming that 80% of the work was done in China, with only finishing touches in France. What does a multi-billion-dollar luxury house do when its biggest secret is revealed? The answer is obvious. They immediately enter a legal battle. Hermes is now suing these Chinese factories, not for intellectual property infringement in the traditional sense of creating illegal copies, but rather for allegedly misusing intellectual property in a different way and defamation. Here's the crazy part. These factories were frequently legally producing the bags under legitimate contracts with luxury brands. So now that they've spoken out, Hermes is acting completely different, acting as though they never had anything to do with it, as if they just woke up and asked, "Wait, who are these people making our bags?" The numbers don't lie, so let's do some quick math. Hermes made over $15 billion last year, which is equivalent to millions of bags sold. They say it takes a single artisan 2 full days, sometimes longer, to make one Birkin or Kelly by hand. Where is this secret army of master French artisans? The math just doesn't add up. It looks more like mass production with a fancy marketing story attached than it does like exclusive craftsmanship. It's completely fraudulent, and the worst part is that it's even more shocking. This is not just a Hermes issue. It is an industry-wide one. It has been reported that companies like Prada, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton are engaging in similar practices, producing the great majority of their products, up to 98% at times, in nations like China or Vietnam, and then completing final assembly or adding a button or zipper in Italy or France to lawfully stamp that coveted "Made in Italy" or "Made in France" tag on them. This is a systematic marketing ploy that consumers have fallen for the perceived prestige.
As your daughter drawing on your $60,000 Birkin, am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad at her because when I asked her, I was like, I wanted to see if she was gonna tell me the truth. I was like, Coach, did you draw mommy's purse?
Literally spent $60,000 on this purse. Look what my daughter did.
Boots in China. And that is these boots right here. This is pretty much the Ugg boot that like most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing Ugg boots, and they were always the cool surfer.
Resale prices for these bags are rapidly declining as more people become aware of this fact. People who spent $20,000, $30,000, or even $60,000 on a bag they believed to be a handcrafted work of Parisian art may have purchased it from the same factory district as a $400 fake tanner. The old lie that Western luxury brands pushed was that made in China meant low quality, but that is completely out of date today. Chinese factories are world-class. They use top-tier materials, have incredibly skilled workers, and the best machinery. Many luxury items are made right alongside mid-range products, sometimes even knockoffs, in these same facilities. Leatherstein has shown bags that are claimed to be premium calfskins that are actually just cheap coated leather collectors are sweating. Buyers are furious if the exclusivity is manufactured, the craftsmanship is questionable, and the real cost is tiny. Saying a bag is made in China doesn't always mean it's garbage because the label is stitched on at the very end. In some cases, the technical skill and efficiency may even surpass what's happening in a supposed European store. There are countless stories of people finding high-quality unbranded factory extras that are identical in quality to the 1,000 versions, just without the logo. Some have even claimed to get UGG boots for $5 straight from the same factory as the official ones.
Supplied by product. Bags are from Siton Handbags in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years, and it produces 80% of the world luxury bag.
And that's with good leather and real metal hardware.
Finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. There are no manuals or cheat sheets. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
Western media has spent years brainwashing consumers into believing that Europe is high class and China is bad. But when you peel back the layers, you'll find that these giant brands are often just private equity machines producing expensive goods for people who haven't looked past the hype. Now that consumers are beginning to see through the hype, the entire industry is working to keep the lie alive. Tanner Leatherstein isn't working for any brand. He's not selling anything himself. Instead, he's just showing the receipts, dissecting the materials, exposing the truth, and even tearing open his own pricey wallets to show what you're really paying for. Almost always, what he discovers is incredibly disappointing, but these brands couldn't run this game without their biggest promoters' celebrities. Do you really think Cardi B Kim K Not every Birkin or Chanel bag that Kylie Jenner spends millions of dollars on is strategically placed. Sometimes, they receive the bags as gifts or are even compensated to be seen with them. When a celebrity shares a $60,000 bag on Instagram, millions of people feel as though they must have it to be relevant. You may think you're purchasing luxury, but in reality, you're purchasing celebrity approval. Remember Kylie Jenner's infamous Hermes closet tour? It broke the internet, but how many of those bags were bought with her money? And even if they were they truly handcrafted in Paris or stitched up in a factory in Shenzhen? That's the million-dollar question. And it's not just A-listers. Influencers are deep in this game, flooding TikTok and Instagram with unboxing videos. Most of those bags PR freebies or brand deals there. Stacking cash promoting bags they didn't pay for, pushing the idea that designer equals status, while the brand laughs all the way to the bank, flipping a $600 bag for $26,000 because you saw it on your FYP. Let's circle back to the Birkin trap. Owning one became the ultimate status symbol, but the catch: Hermes controls access. You have to drop serious money on other items, scarves, belts, small leather goods to even be considered for a Birkin offer. It's less about luxury and more about cult-like initiation, making people beg for a spot in the club. A few years ago, people were flipping Birkins like they were gold, but now, after Tanner's exposes and the factory leaks, that market is shaking. Prices are dropping fast. If the exclusivity is a game, the craftsmanship is debated, and the bags come from the same places as high-quality dupes. Why would anyone still pay full price? Resellers are perspiring. Investors are beginning to realize that luxury bags may not be as secure an investment as they initially believed. I've even heard of a client attempting to sell a nearly flawless 2021 Birkin 30 bag, and even that bag is having trouble in the current unstable market. According to some insiders, celebrities and influencers are actually wearing fakes while still tagging the real brand to maintain their image and clout. It's all about the illusion, and the system rewards the fake until you push it over actual authenticity. Therefore, the next time you see someone flaunting a designer bag, don't assume it's real or even theirs. What's being sold is the brand, the image, and the fantasy, not necessarily the quality or origin of the bag itself. So who's winning the brand while still stacking billions? The celebrities continue to receive freebies and checks. The legal battle is where things get even more bizarre. The influencers are still receiving PR boxes and invitations, but they aren't bringing in any business. Your hard-earned money is being wasted on a hype machine that is driven by people who frequently didn't buy the product. Instead, they're paying for a label, a dream, or an illusion. The timing is terrible for Hermes, as global trade is shifting and nations like the US are enforcing tariffs that require businesses to be more open about their supply chains. They are allegedly pursuing several Chinese manufacturers who dared to speak the truth, bringing lawsuits alleging defamation and anything else to silence the sources that confirm their secret. When the majority of your purported French craftsmanship is actually stitched in Shenzhen, brands that rely on covert overseas production are being caught. You have a serious problem. This whole Exposé cracks open something much bigger. Luxury today isn't just about physical quality, it's about perception, storytelling, and a manufactured illusion of exclusivity and heritage. When that illusion is shattered, the entire foundation of the empire starts to crumble. Hermes isn't just trying to save face, they're fighting for survival, because if the truth about where their bags are made becomes common knowledge, people won't just question Hermes, they'll start looking sideways at Louis Vuitton, Prada, Chanel, all of them, and the minute made in France or made in Italy loses its magic, its perceived value, that's when the whole game changes. Right now, Hermes is scrambling, pointing fingers, suing the messengers, trying desperately to put the genie back in the bottle. They even put out a video trying to show their own factory production, clearly a response to the leaks. But it might be way too late. The internet remembers everything, so now that you know the real deal, are you still going to drop $20,000 on a bag that might have been made in the same facility that packed your latest Amazon order, or crafted right alongside a high-quality dupe you could buy for a fraction of the cost? Think about it. Are you buying real quality, or just buying into the illusion? Hit that like button if this made you rethink luxury. Subscribe for more deep dives into the fashion world's dirty secrets, and drop a comment below. Would you still buy a Hermes bag if the tag honestly said made in China? The rabbit hole goes way deeper, and trust me, the next video is going to be just as wild. See you there.